Good morning. In the spirit of resilience, I'm going to be playing Defying Gravity from Wicked by Stephen Schwartz. And the words are so wonderful. I just pull out a few of them. Something has changed within me. I'm through with playing by the rules of someone else's game. It's time to trust my intuition, close my eyes and leap. It's time to try defying gravity, and you can't pull me down. Everyone deserves the chance to fly.
I love the way you always think outside the box when you pick music. It's great. Welcome, everyone, to this early, hot February day at Summit UU Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. Those of you on Zoom are cozy in your homes, and I hope you're having a cup of tea or coffee. Thank you for joining us. I am always so nervous, and I look out and everybody's friends, so what's there to be nervous about, right? So you'll forgive me in advance for any mistakes I'm going to make. Okay. Centering thought, you can read it yourselves. Well, okay, for those of you on Zoom, forests may be gorgeous, but there's nothing more alive than a tree that learns how to grow in a cemetery. Did you pick that out? Okay.
Thank you, Soul Matters.
Okay, I've welcomed you, and Summit is a liberal religious community bound together by shared principles drawn from world religions, humanist teachings, nature, science, philosophy, and personal practices. We aspire to be a religion of love and inclusion. The mission of Summit is to commit ourselves to building a more compassionate, just, and sustainable world. If you are new to Summit, you can go to our website and summitUUF.org and click on the link. And I also would like to remind you that we stand upon the land that carries the footsteps of many generations of Kumeyaay people, which stretches from the shores of the Pacific Ocean, south to Ensenada, east to the sand dunes of the Colorado River in Imperial Valley, and north to Warner Spring Valley. We acknowledge that this fellowship resides on unceded Kumeyaay land and honor the spirit and continuing presence of the Kumeyaay Nation. Announcements. We have 4 announcements today. Mary?
Good morning.
Morning.
Are we hot there?
Not yet.
Test. There we go. Good morning.
Morning.
I have a quick announcement. Today at noon in the RE space, we're having a meeting of anybody who's interested in an earth-centered spirituality group. So if that's something you're interested in, or, earth-centered spirituality, some of you know I've been practicing as a witch for many, many, many years. I'm not here to teach you, though. I'm here to work with you to develop what we would like to see happen here. So there's many of us that are interested in this. So please join us and help create what's next. Oh, at noon. Noon in the RE area.
Who can get up here first? Roland or Al?
Roland and then Al.
Buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
I owe everyone a deep apology, and here it is. The dance that is on Valentine's Day is for everyone, whether you're married, engaged, working on your divorce. It doesn't matter. If you're single, come. It's for everyone. And if you have children you want to bring, big kids, not little ones, because we will have no childcare, bring them. It starts at 6 o'clock right here. We're going to be decorating and we'll have music. I will be passing around a I will attend sheet with the songs that you say you will dance to. And so we will be keeping track.
Can I add something?
Please do.
Okay, so I just was thinking, how can I contribute to this? Because I'm coming by myself. I really like to dance, and I wanted to put out an invitation to anybody. I will dance with you. If you're using a walker or a wheelchair, we'll figure out a way that it'll work for you to dance. So I'm here. I'm a terrible dancer. I'm not promising anything, but I will dance with you. So don't think, well, I'm going to come to this and nobody will dance with me because here. Okay.
Thank you. The next day, following the service, we are having a potluck. The potluck will be over in the salon, and that will be before our harpist comes to play Celtic harp music for us. Please bring your favorite dish and join us. It's going to be quite a weekend for the congregation. Thank you. Music Sunday.
It's next Sunday. It's also Music Sunday.
It's also Music Sunday.
You can go up and say that.
Did I say that? It's also Music Sunday.
Yes, because Mary and Casey will be at Camp de Benneville Pines, so I will not be in the pulpit. We will be having a Music Sunday. And I'm excited to hear what y'all come up with.
Yeah, dancing. I love to dance. I can't dance anymore, but I can wiggle around a lot, and that's what it's for. I mean, how many opportunities do we get to dance anymore? I mean, how many of us go to bars and that kind of thing? So that's the idea. It's going to be a space and a place to dance. Okay, Al.
If I dance with you, Barbara, would you promise not to step on my toes?
If I step on your toes, you get to step on mine too. There we go.
Good morning. Yeah.
Good morning.
I'm Al Mork, the chairman of the Social Justice and Action Committee, and today we are having our monthly meeting in the library at noon. With everything going on, we have a very interesting agenda, and all are welcome. Also, mark your calendars on February 28th. That's the day, a nationwide protest pertaining to Home Depots. And no. This is February 28th. Yeah. Home Depots. Yes. Yeah. It's pertaining to the way they treat their employees. They kowtow to ICE, and the way they treat their employees and their customers, borrowed ICE. And so more details will be coming shortly. Thank you.
I have an announcement. Some of you may know or remember, hello, Diane Slagle, and I think a few months ago I told you about this project she's working on. She helps women from Afghan community, refugees from Afghanistan, to learn how to sew and create things from various donated fabrics to sell and to give them some skills. Now she's looking for a volunteer, female volunteer, to pick up ladies who are involved in the class and need a ride to the classroom, which is in downtown El Cajon. Let's see, I can't. Oh, it's on Douglas near Magnolia. The women live nearby, but they don't have any way to get to the class, and it has to be a woman, obviously. So if you if you're interested in volunteering to take women to this class with your cars, contact Diane Slagle. She is in the directory still. Okay.
And if you're interested and you don't have a directory, reach out to Nelwyn. She can help you out.
Yeah, there is a new directory out. I think everybody should have gotten an email regarding that, and you can just download it to your computer or print it out. That's what I do. Okay. Chalice sliding. I'm reading and you're lighting. We light this flame for the wisdom that hums beneath the thought in our heartbeats, our breath, the subtle flutter that says, "You are still here." We light this chalice to remember resilience begins in the body's quiet language, whispering us along. Please rise as you are willing and able for the congregational hymn.
Of this fellowship, may the quest for truth be its sacrament and service be its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, and to help one another in fellowship. This is our aspiration. Good morning, everyone. Gosh, a full house today. I love it. There are faces I haven't seen in many, many weeks and faces that I get to see every week, and I am so excited to have all of you here. I am the Reverend Casey Marie Pandell. It is my honor and my joy to be the minister here at Summit Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. I am a 36-year-old woman with shoulder-length teal-ish hair, wearing a black and pastel floral dress, a purple stole, and black shoes. Whether you are joining us, at home from the comfort of your living rooms, bedrooms, or wherever, maybe backyards on a nice day like this, or you are joining us here in the sanctuary, whether it is your first visit or your 5,000th visit, you are whole, you are holy, you are loved, and you are so welcome here. Our reading today comes from the Reverend Ashley Horan, entitled The Holy Work of Showing Up. And if you've been following any of UU World's posting on Minneapolis, you may recognize Reverend Ashley's name. She is one of our colleagues on the ground in Minneapolis and has been since Renee Good's murder. She lives about 2 blocks away from where that happened. So she's been very much involved in it from the get-go. So Reverend Ashley asks, how is it with your soul? This is the question that John Wesley, Anglican priest and founder of Methodism, was known to ask participants in small reflection groups. I ask you now because for me, this has been a hard week. So, beloveds, how is it with your soul? If your response to that question is anything like mine, I want to invite you to pause as you hear these words. Take a deep breath, say a prayer, sing a song, light a chalice. Feel the force of gravity pulling us all toward the same center. Whatever helps you feel more rooted and less alone. Now do it again. And again. And again. And once you feel that rootedness and connection, hear this. You are loved beyond belief. You are enough. You are precious. Your work and your life matter. And you are not alone. You are part of a we, a great cloud of witnesses, living and dead, who have insisted that this beautiful, broken world of ours is a blessing worthy of both deep gratitude and fierce protection. Our ancestors and our descendants are beckoning us, compelling us onward toward greater connection, greater compassion, greater commitment to one another and to the earth. Together, we are resilient and resourceful enough to say yes to that call, to make it our life's work in 1,000 different ways, knowing that we can do no other than bind ourselves more tightly together and throw ourselves into the holy work of showing up again and again as we are to be a part of building the world of which we dream, but of which we have not yet seen. Welcome to worship. And I invite you to rise in mind, body, or spirit to sing our first hymn, hymn number 9, No Longer Forward Nor Behind.
Good morning, friends. Good morning. So if you would like, this is a new hymn for us, so grab your hymnals, look at hymn number 9, otherwise the words are on our screen. What you're going to hear first is Barbara playing the whole hymn through to teach us how the hymn tune goes, and then we'll go into verse 1.
The joys and concerns portion of our service give us the opportunity to hold the things in our lives that are too big to hold alone. Everyone is welcome to call, text, or email joys and concerns throughout the week to myself or Stacy Sasaki. We also have the Summit Summit Pastoral Care email, which is in our e-news. And even if you don't do that before today, you are welcome to, at the beginning of service, fill out a form at front of the chancel at the beginning of service. Whether spoken or unspoken, all are welcome to light a candle. And we know that the time it takes to do all good things will come on its own. While we hope and pray and wait and wonder, we know in a place like this, we are always held together on our good days and our less good ones and everything in between. We thank you for the chance to be in this place to support each other in this community, and we know that we are all beloved and we are never alone. Amen. And now for our Director of Religious Exploration.
My name is Mary. I'm excited to share with you today. I'm going to need kiddos, if you want to come up, we have close-up props today. So come on up. So I'm Mary, I'm your Director of Religious Exploration. I'm about 5'7", 60-something, and today I'm wearing a green top and brown and black pants with unicorns and owls on them that I'm very excited about. So I have some props here if you guys want to sit so you can see them. I have a potato and an egg and some coffee beans. What do you think that's about? Any ideas? Breakfast? Somebody said breakfast. Could be. This could be a really nice breakfast, wouldn't it? So I have a story about them. This is a modern parable. So a parable is a story that has some sort of thing that we learn from it, right? So this is about how we respond when life gets hard. Sometimes life gets hard, right? There's an old-fashioned expression called grit. We respond with grit. What do you think that means? Like grit is like sand. Have you ever gotten sand in your shoes?
Yeah, at the beach.
And it's sort of, well, how does it feel? Does it feel good? No, it's rough. And
Soft and you step on it.
yeah, it's soft if you're barefoot on the sand, but if it's in your shoe, it's that's what we mean by grit. It's like irritating. It's like bugging you. You want it out. So once upon a time, there was a young person who was complaining to an elder. And she was miserable, and she didn't know how she was going to make it. So she was tired of fighting, tired of struggling. It seemed just as she'd solve one problem, another problem would come up. And then another problem. Has anybody ever felt that way? Sometimes it's like that, huh? So the elder took this young person into the kitchen and filled 3 pots with water. I want you to imagine there's 3 pots of water on the stove right here. And he let them sit there the elder let them sit there till they boiled. So you've seen boiling water? It's very bubbly, it's very hot, you can't put your hand in it. And then this elder took a potato and put it in the pot, and an egg in the other pot, and the coffee beans in the last pot, and he let them sit there. Well, they just sat and talked for a little bit. And then the young person was impatient, like, what are we waiting for? This is taking too long, because they sat there in the hot water for a good 20 minutes. And then he took the potato out, and I have some props over here to bring out. He took the potato out. He took the egg out. And there's the egg. And he took out the water where the coffee beans were. So, the elder turned to her and said, what do you see? Potatoes, eggs, and coffee, right? That's what we see. So look closer at the potato. What do you see? Is it hard or? It's kind of soft and squishy, huh? What was the potato like before?
It was hard.
You feel it? It's like a squish. This is a raw potato. It's kind of hard and crunchy, right? And now it's soft and squishy. How about the egg? I got potato all over my fingers. This egg is raw. What would happen if I broke it? There would be liquid everywhere, right? This egg is hard-boiled. So inside it, it's not. It's hard, right?
Why did I do
Well, it's a little soft-boiled. It's how long it was in my kitchen. And then here's the coffee. How's the coffee look? Does it smell like coffee?
Yes.
Does it smell like coffee? Yeah, that's. I'm gonna smell it. And look at the beans. Do they look any different? They look like coffee beans, right?
What do they smell like?
So she's like, what does all this mean? What does it mean? This, cooking lesson. Where I don't even get breakfast, huh? I don't even get breakfast. So the potatoes and the eggs and the coffee all face the same adversity. And the adversity was what? boiling water. I'm telling the story. The story is written and I tell it because I read the stories over and over again so that I memorize them as best I can. So that's what I'm going from this. So the potato went into the boiling water and everything reacted different. So the potato went in, it was strong and hard, right? And it faced that boiling water and what happened? It got soft and weak and mushy and fell apart. It's like, oh, the boiling water is too much for me. And the egg, when it went in there, it was fragile. If you dropped that egg on the floor, it would be a mess, right? And the egg went in the boiling water, and it boiled for the same amount of time, and it became hard and stiff and not movable, right? So hard egg. And then what happened with the coffee beans?
It turned into coffee.
Yeah, so they were exposed to the boiling water. The coffee beans didn't fall apart. They didn't get hard, any harder than they were. Instead, they had the strength to absorb the water and transform it into something else, to a cup of coffee. So the elders said, which one are you? Are you potatoes? Are you eggs? Or are you coffee? Huh? So when adversity knocks on your door, how do you respond? Things happen in life. They happen all around us. The only thing that truly matters when things happen is how your choices and your choices that you make and how you react to it. Like you could drink a nice cup of coffee and have a mushy potato and a hard egg for breakfast, and that would be awesome, right? Or you could get really frustrated because the egg wasn't cooked the way you wanted, the coffee didn't have any cream in it, and the potatoes are mushy. So it's how you deal with it. You can crumble in fear, turn hard, or refuse to change, or you can dig deep and absorb the adversity and transform into something wonderful, like a cup of coffee. So that's what we mean by grit, like that grit in your shoes. We will bring that. Do I have any in the back? We'll try coffee later. The coffee seeds. So coffee beans are stronger than coffee. So we'll try that another time, I think. But this is our story for us today. So we're talking about, like I said, grit and adversity. And these are examples of what happens to these items when they're boiled in hot water. And the question is to ask yourself, what's going to happen to you when you deal with something difficult? So that's my story for you guys today. Let's do our affirmation, and then we'll sing our song to head off to class. So the affirmation is, we are Unitarian Universalists, a people of open minds, loving hearts, and helping hands. I always, dyslexic brain mix them up. So we're heading off to class where we're going to talk more about dealing with having some grit to deal with hard things.
Hello again. We are back for our second choir Sunday of the year. And this week, I don't have a microphone over here, so I'm going to holler really loud. This week we have a very special song to present to you guys. Stand up and be so pretty. Stand up and be so pretty. Ready, friends? Abide with me, rest
What an honor to follow you. I think we can all agree that these are incredibly challenging times. We can call them whatever else we want. And I have written this poem, it's a mantra, to help us maybe possibly find a way to navigate through these times. I think we're in a time where we're really learning to open our hearts and get our mind and our heart coordinated to work together so we can find even moments of harmony. As I like to say, there's the Irish poet Seamus Heaney, may you all come to learn to resist the tyranny of your own mind. And my addendum is, may we all learn to love with our heads and think with our hearts. So this is a mantra. It's written in the I, but it's meant to be we. Love is a feeling. Love is source from which all comes. I am its eternal life. I am seeds of Adam and Eve, blood of Isis, life pulsing the eternal permission. I will never die, only pause, sleep, wait, naked, royally robed, staccato, grace and flowing, pure chameleon, ever present, invisible, hiding, shining behind gauzed eyes. Eyes hate with hate and hurt. I will return your tidal sight. I will light your lost searchings, ember your rage to cinder, your resistance to craving. I, in my warm hands, weary hearts weathered from groping, soften them to reaching. Once again, till the garden in the wounds compost sadness and joy, loss and findings into rocky sod. I will comb them with velvet soil, release all bindings into the fertile void. I am from, in, about, and through love. Love is source. I am one with love. I am one with source. Blessings be.
I promise I don't deliberately keep bringing you weird pop culture things about dogs. It's not intentional, I swear. Okay, but it's not specifically about dogs. The pop culture stuff is intentional, but it's not specifically about dogs, I swear. So today's sermon is called, I Got That Dog in Me. And I'd like to let you know that Nelwyn and I spent 10 minutes going back and forth about whether it's I've got that dog in me or I got that dog in me. And we chose I got that dog in me. And here's why. If you're a sports fan, you've probably heard that saying about somebody who's particularly good and particularly confident in the sport that they're a part of, kind of like being the GOAT, but not quite as high. We have a thing with animal analogies, I think. But what I'm talking about today, I tried to find some information on the etymology of it. It was a little tough. I suspect it comes from AAVE, which, if that is an unfamiliar term for you, AAVE is African American Vernacular English. Basically, black folks came up with something and everybody stole it from them. So I got that dog in me when talking about the average person is a lot about how we approach adversity. Think like a chihuahua. Have you ever seen a chihuahua on the boardwalk fight with another dog like 5 times its size? You've met my dog Zeus. You all know what that's like. So that's what we're talking about when we say, I've got that dog in me. It's this idea of something that feels like you shouldn't be able to approach it and do it well, but you do. You will hear me say, I got that dog in me. I usually say it's Snoopy. I am 3 Snoopies in a trench coat, though, so that's pretty accurate. I got that dog in me today is really about tending to resilience in an intentional way. Now, contrary to popular belief, I don't love talking about myself from the pulpit, but I do tend to be an expert about that thing. So if you'll excuse me, I'm going to talk about my grief a little bit today. See, when my partner passed away 8-9 years ago, it started to get a little fuzzy. What frustrated me the most was that I was in such abject pain. I was in a grief fog that was, I don't know, like horror movie cemetery thick. And once that fog started to dissipate, probably 3-4 months in, it occurred to me how many people I had encountered that couldn't seem to hear my pain. And that really frustrated me, and frustrated is a nice term. Because I was hurting. I was hurting so desperately, and couldn't you hear me crying? Why could people not hear me crying? I was 28 at the time, and my brilliant plan to remedy that was to tell everyone all the time, as loudly as possible, how much I was hurting. For my friends and family who chose to turn away from that, because I'm not pretending pain is easy to look in the face. It's not. We all know it's not. But it wasn't just my family and friends that I did it to. It was complete strangers, too. I still feel really bad about the guy at Sprouts. Sorry, bud. But what I chose to do was what I thought was being resilient. And what that turned out to be was ripping my heart open and bleeding all over anybody who even looked at me. Whether or not they wanted to have a conversation is irrelevant. It took me 5 years. Not 5 days, not 5 weeks, 5 years before my therapist finally looked at me and went, "Oh, that's not healing, and that's not healthy. It's not healthy for you, it's not healthy for the people you're around." So we had a lot of conversations about choosing something different. And he told me, "Casey, it's trauma. That trauma is never going to go away. That's okay. What are you going to do with it now that is better for you and more meaningful for your life?" And I said, "What the heck does that mean?" And he goes, "Okay, you tell me all the time that you want to honor Dan in your life because he's gone, but you're still here. So do you want to survive or do you want to thrive?" Now, at this point, I was already in seminary. I was head first in it. And I was like, "What do you mean I'm not thriving? I have a 4.0 GPA in my seminary program." And he went, "That's not what I mean. That's called coping, because you have chosen something else to take the place of what you need to work on." Whew. There's a reason I still have him as a therapist, by the way. And I didn't realize that just talking about what hurt and telling those stories wasn't enough. Now, I've talked before. Some of you in this room have heard this before. Some of you hadn't. I've talked a lot about how stories define us and stories connect us. And like, I know in our heads we all know that, but I really mean when we can sit in our stories by ourselves and together, we're really making those deep community connections that bring us into these spaces. You don't go to the library to do this. You don't go to a discussion at a college to do this. You come to a faith community to really be seen and valued and heard. And I had to figure out how to tell that story in a way that made sense as a way of connection and not pushing people away. So when I'm talking today about "I got that dog in me," it's not just about a funny saying. It's about being kicked down and getting back up. It's about knowing someone knocked your tooth out and spitting the blood out and saying, "I'm not done." And I know that sounds deeply violent, and that's not the point of this. The point of this is to prove that it's not just about sitting there and taking it. It's really easy to turn around and not look at our pain. It's really easy to turn around and not see each other's pain. But when we're choosing a practice of resilience, it's the choice to invest in ourselves. as always, I'm never going to say anything I bring to you is easy. If resilience building was easy, I would have written an international bestseller and I would be on an international book tour and not here. Because investing in ourselves the way that we need to build resilience doesn't happen overnight. How many people pray or meditate? Yeah. You can raise your hands really high, it's okay. That's a good thing. That's a spiritual practice. You have to choose to meditate, right? You have to choose to pray, right? You have to sit and be in that space with yourself and choose that moment and choose that for you. Because yes, you can pray or meditate in the middle of Times Square if you really want, but does that serve you? It's about choosing ourselves and knowing that, like Ashley Horan said, we are beloved, each and every one of us. And if we're going to build the resilience it takes to get through these weeks that feel interminably long, it starts with choosing ourselves and being willing to say, I'm worth it. It's not just about scraping and scrabbling and just getting through the day, although it's okay if sometimes that's all it is. When we're choosing resilience for ourselves as a spiritual practice, it's choosing ourselves and saying, yes, that call I've been talking about the last few weeks, it's a call for ourselves and our souls too. The best part about building resilience, though, is that it doesn't have to happen alone, because it's tough work. We do it every time we come together in this space, too. In fact, sometimes when I'm not feeling resilient, I know there's someone else who does, and maybe I can borrow a little bit of their resilience. Because resilience building, community building doesn't happen in a silo. It happens because we want to do it here together. I know it's really hard to have that mirror put up to ourselves and to really see what's happening. But if we want to move past plain old survival into actual joyous thriving, it takes work. If I didn't have that therapist telling me that there was a big difference between the two, I don't think I would be sitting in front of you today. Yes, I was in seminary, I was going through school, but I had to do a lot of work to be able to understand how to serve people who may not be thriving yet, or maybe have thrived and maybe aren't now. Because when we come to a community like this as a new relationship, there's a little bit of dancing and stepping on toes that has to happen first. I have to know who I am and really like this person to be able to do the work that I do with all of you. Because there are a lot of ouches that come with being a minister. And I don't mean ouches from you to me or me to you. I mean holding these places of care and concern with all of you, or for all of you, when you may not have the resilience to do it alone. So I've got that dog in me. I know it sounds funny. And if that helps you picture resilience as something joyful, not something painful, then I'll take that as a win today. So if you ever hear me say, I got that dog in me, I might be having a not so resilient day, because sometimes you have to fake it before you make it, right? So as we look at what's going on in our world and we look around at everything and just go, oh God, we can do this. We can do the hard things. Is that right, Jerica? There's a whole sermon in just that. We just have to choose to do it. We have to know we're not going to be great at it. We have to know that we're going to fail at it and be okay with that. Because thriving is much, much different. It's about choosing to make coffee out of those beans. It's about transforming where we've been, knowing that that doesn't define us. And it can just be the foundation for the great next place that we can love ourselves and each other into. So I hope we can all find that dog in us, even if it's a yappy little chihuahua. So may it be, and amen.
She's got
cute little chihuahua.
She does. I've seen her.
Fiona. Your offering is the Sunday morning gift that provides Summit UU Fellowship the financial resources to help build a better world together. Hope you can dig into your pockets and be a little generous, but whatever you have is welcome. Thank you.
So I'm playing a piece called To Spring, and I know it's not, even though it feels like it sort of feels like summer, it's not really spring here, and that's not why I'm doing this today. I have this wonderful hat that I'm going to put on, made by our very own Shannon Allen, and I'm not just wearing it because it's like wonderful and stylish hat, but because during World War II, Norwegians wore red hats to protest Nazi occupation until the hats were banned. And this is a sort of a new thing that's exciting. If we remember, back when first Trump administration, the Women's March and the Pussy hats. This is the a new hat, and this is a symbol of protest, and it's also warm and nice and comforting. And a third of Minnesotans have Nordic heritage. I'm Karen Follingstad, if you're listening, I apologize because this is probably, I'm taking something that, you as a Minnesotan with Nordic heritage, or Norwegian actually, because of the piece of music I want to play is called To Spring. It's by Norwegian composer Edvard Grieg, and this is this hat is called a melt the ice hat. And what you're doing in Norway, right, with this piece of music and, celebrating spring is going, oh my gosh, the ice is melting. So listen for it, especially at the end of this piece, the melting of the ice, and, pray or meditate or hope or just feel warm.
Please rise as willing and able for hymn number 318 in the gray hymnal or on the screens. Thank you.
There's a saying that we ministers have that is, you preach from your scars, not your wounds. I think everyone's kind of laughing at that one a little bit, sardonically, yikes. It took a long time to understand what that meant. When we're investing in the resilience that we build for ourselves, the resilience that we're building for our communities, you're learning to tell those stories that are our foundations without bleeding on everyone. When we're building resilience, we have to remember that there's no shame, no fear. All of those things go out the window for whatever those stories are when we're building that resilience. It's about acceptance, it's about self-love, and it's about getting back up when someone has swiped the leg and saying, I've got this for another day. And if it's just for another day, then one day at a time is more than enough. Amen, shalom, salam, ashe, namaste, and blessed be. Go now in peace. May the light within you be a blessing to the world.
Sorry, just a sec. Almost made it. Oh, we extinguish this flame. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. And as we close our service by extinguishing the chalice, you're invited to stay afterwards for a conversation, community discussion, and across the parking lot there's food if you're afterwards, or if you don't care to join the discussion. We'll have our closing circle song in which we stand together and hold hands if you are so inclined. The words to the song are on the screen.